Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially up to you on some more current latest news that's currently going on in the press. So potentially a lot of news now is breaking out in the press, so there's lots to talk about on this current video today. So if you do consider and if you do consider drop your likes on the video as well. So I've just been reading a bit of what Solskjaer's come up with, a bit of the team news, for the big game tomorrow, Arsenal versus Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. He's given us a bit of team news, going into the game. Solskjaer has confirmed that Alexis Sanchez, who's been struggling to get game time under his belt recently, obviously because Martial's preferred choice, and obviously he's suffered a couple of injuries this season as Alexis. But obviously, Solskjaer's confirmed he will be in contention, to versus his former club, which is very good news, as I couldn't say, because he's on over £500,000 a week here. As we all know, there's areas of his game, that he potentially, does need to adapt, as we all currently know. But Sanchez is going to be in contention to feature reportedly. There has been talks that Romelu Lukaku could be featuring in this game as well, because I think Solskjaer has rejuvenated his form, to be quite honest with Romelu Lukaku, proven goal scorer in the Premier League. Do have concerns about his first touch and all that, to be quite honest with you. There was strong speculation about him leaving, for Juventus last month, but, I do think Romelu Lukaku will be staying at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, but he could be in contention to start, because we obviously know Rashford has been first choice over him, considering that Rashford's been in fantastic form, and obviously what Rashford can offer up front, with the pace, and he can press out the pitch, and his finishing's good and all that, obviously Romelu Lukaku cannot do this, so potentially Rashford and Martial and Lingard have been first choice over Lukaku and Sanchez, but I do potentially think he will rotate the squad a little bit, as it has currently confirmed. Solskjaer's obviously confirmed that Marcus Rojo's still injured, Manny and Fellaini's out for about 3 to 4 weeks with a calf injury as well, as he said. Chris Smalling's obviously recently been injured, but there's been talks that he could be in contention reportedly. Luke Shaw reportedly missed the Brighton game, where he's actually due to start, was Luke Shaw, because he's our first choice left back, but due to a current injury, due to an illness he suffered, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were forced to put, Diego Dalot into contention against Brighton, but Luke Shaw could be actually featuring in this game as well. He's obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has obviously give us an update as well on signing new deals for Martial and De Gea, because both of them are on the brink of signing new deals with Manchester United, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, he's going to see how it progresses. There should be some good news in a couple of weeks or something like that, but we are on the brink of getting Martial and David De Gea new deals, which would be a fantastic news for us as well. Considering about Anthony Martial, reportedly he's told his agent he wants to negotiate a new deal. He's on the brink of signing a new 5-year deal with Man United worth around £150,000 a week, as it has confirmed, which is very good news, because he's only aged 23, as we all currently know. He's been doing very well on that left-hand side this season, creating the width very well, scoring goals, and providing assists, as we all know. Anthony Martial, he's been here a good 3.5, 4. I think this is his 4th season now with Manchester United. Obviously, we activated a 12-month extension on his current contract last year, as we all currently know. And his representative said last summer he was pessimistic about Anthony Martial, signing a new deal, and there was strong speculation about him leaving last summer due to his bad relationship with Jose Mourinho, as we all know. But now, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, he's rejuvenated the team, he's put the confidence and the motivation in the team. We'll probably get the majority of these players that are coming to end their contracts new deals at the club, but Martial would be fantastic, as I said. Same with David De Gea, as I currently said, £300,000 a week, as we all know, he's demanding to sign this new deal. He wants to become one of the club's highest paid players, does De Gea. We activated a 12-month extension on his current contract last year, as we all currently know. We did say he was on the brink of joining Real Madrid in 2015, but he stayed at Manchester United, but his performances have been absolutely fantastic, and he's potentially, the best goalkeeper in the world is David De Gea, as we all know. Since he's been here, he's made over 300 odd appearances, as we all know, as David De Gea, as we all know, he's won the club's player of the year 4 out of 5 seasons. He's won some at Buzzy Player of the Year quite a few times, and he's been here a number of years, since 2011. So he has progressed, and his progression has been very good indeed. But he did say he's committed his long-term future in Manchester United. De Gea, before he was talking about being up there and elevating to that high level, and he was talking about trophies and all that. But I am convinced we can do this under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. So De Gea is going to commit to a new deal as well. And if we can get deals, for the likes of Paul Pogba and Marcus Rashford, Rashford's current deal still ends in 2020. Being United player since the age of 7, he has progressed up the ranks very well, as Marcus Rashford, as we all currently know. But yeah, his current deal ends in 2020, so we could be in talks of getting him a new deal. Same with Paul Pogba, as we all know, want to get him a new deal at the club as well, because Paul Pogba's been fantastic. This is we've seen the best out of him within this month under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's been scoring goals and he's been providing. He can be and he is one of the best midfielders in world football when he plays like this. And he's getting the freedom to express himself. As we all know, he's Paul Pogba, and he's demanding that he wants to discuss about a new contract. His representative Riley Ola confirmed he will meet up with the Manchester United board to discuss a new contract for Paul Pogba as well. Paul Pogba will obviously demand a wage increase if he's to sign this new deal. He's still currently got 2 years left on his current deal at the moment. There was strong speculation of him leaving Manchester United, last year when Mourinho was in charge, especially at the end of his the last stages of his managerial tenure, because he had a bad relationship with Jose Mourinho. Did Paul Pogba, as we all know, and he was indicating that he wanted to go back to Juventus, as we all know, Paul Pogba, but he is going to be staying at Manchester United, which is very, very good. Juan Mata could be in contention, as well, to start against Arsenal, because recently Lingard's been third choice over Juan Mata, as we all currently know as well. So he has given us a bit of a team that's going into the game, but we know Rojo won't be playing. We know Fellaini obviously won't be playing, as we all currently know. But as I did say, it's going to be a good mouth-watering clash this game. It's going to be a very, very good game. It's going to be a tester for us, as we all currently know. It's going to be a big test for us, because obviously Arsenal at the Emirates have been playing very, very well this season. They've only lost one game at the Emirates this season, and that was at Manchester City. As we all currently know, they put a good performance out against Chelsea. When they won 2-0, did Arsenal as well. They put a very, very good performance out. But as I did say, Arsenal have won 13 FA Cups. We've won 12, so Arsenal have won in front of us. Arsenal are obviously the record holders, for the FA Cup. But potentially, the last meeting in the FA Cup, Arsenal did beat us 2-1. Welbeck scored the winner. Di Maria, I think, got sent off in that game as well. They beat us in the FA Cup final in 2005, and they're not starting the fifth round in 2002 and 2003. But we've beaten them quite a few times in the FA Cup as well. And potentially, we've got a good record against Arsenal, to be quite honest with you. In the last 19 meetings, we've won 10, they've won 5, and we've won 10, there's been 5 draws, and Arsenal have won 4 in the current process. Last meeting at the Emirates, we did win 3-1. What a performance David De Gea put out in that game as well. We won 3-1 at the Emirates. Very, very lucky, to quite honest, because Arsenal had 30-odd shots in that game on goal, as we all know. We did beat him at home last season 2-1 as well, Manny and Fellaini late winner. The game earlier on in the season was 2-2, but it was a poor game. That there was a lot of individual mistakes in that. But Arsenal, Man United is always a big fixture. It's no longer Ferguson versus Wenger. Obviously they were the two longest serving managers in English football, as we all know. It's no longer David Moyes versus Wenger, or Van Gaal versus Wenger, or Mourinho versus Wenger, or Mourinho versus Umremre. It's now Umremre against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know. And it's going to be a tight game, to be quite honest with you. We potentially got a better squad than Arsenal on paper. We've got a lot of quality up front, but Arsenal have got a good team as well. They've got Aubameyang and Lacazette, that have been leading the lines for them. They've been a fantastic partnership, and they have been scoring goals for Arsenal. They do have some injury concerns as well. Going into this game, obviously they've got Hector Bellerin out, for the season. Welbeck's out, Rob Holding's out as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal line up in this game. To be quite honest with you, it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal line up in this game, to be quite honest with you. But both teams are going for top 4 in the league, as we all know, because Arsenal and Manchester United are on the same points in the league, as we all currently know. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. As I said, it's going to be interesting to see who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes out with, as we all know, because we look a total different team under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. 7 wins out of 7, as I said. 19 goals scored, only 4 conceded. Rashford's been playing well, Pogba's been playing well, Martial's been playing well, as we all currently know. So it's 7 wins out of 7, and he's rejuvenated the team as Solskjaer. He's got the right mentality into the team. He's got the team playing. He's got the team, creating more chances. We've improved defensively. We're showing heart. We're showing desire. We're showing passion, and he's brought positivity back to the club as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he has been discussing, Solskjaer, that he'd love the job on a full-time basis at Manchester United, as he has confirmed. He'd love the job on a full-time basis. He said it would be hard for him to leave Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I think he would be the right man for the job, because he's won trophies. He won trophies as a player, from 1996 to 2007 under Fergie, and he won trophies when he was manager in the reserve team. Watched some of the players, grow and develop. As we all currently know, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he knows the culture of the club, and he knows the traditions of the club. He knows everything about the club. There's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has confirmed he's still got a few interests in some targets he wants to get in. I think it's unlikely we're going to make any signings in his January window, because he did say he doesn't expect us to make any signings in his January window. He said he doesn't expect us to, and he said it's unlikely that we will, as we all currently know. So potentially, if we can get new deals for some of these players, we'll probably just leave the signings until the summer, reportedly, as we all currently know. But we'll see what happens anyway. But obviously, as I did tell you, that obviously the club, obviously Manchester United, are still recruiting, obviously, to get a director of football into the club, reportedly. Director of football who's been mentioned is what's his name again? Paul Mitchell, head of recruitment at RP Lesby. Reportedly, his Ed Woodward's number one target. For Paul Mitchell, to fulfil the director's role at Manchester United. There's been a few other candidates mentioned in the media as well, but this Paul Mitchell, reportedly RP Lesbig want to keep him. They want to sign him a new contract, and they want to offer him a bigger role at the club. Reportedly, do RP Lesbig. He's actually worked with Pochettino in the past, and he has actually got a good relationship with Mauricio Pochettino. He's got a good relationship with Mauricio Pochettino as Paul Mitchell, because they've worked together, when he was a head of recruitment at Tottenham and Southampton. This Paul Mitchell, and he was responsible for some of the signs of Dejan Lovren, Sadio Mane, Toby Alderweireld, Dele Alli as well. He was responsible for them signings, was Paul Mitchell, as we all know. But reportedly, he's Ed Woodward's number one. He is actually, born in Manchester as well as this Paul Mitchell. But we've looked at a few other candidates, but reportedly, Paul Mitchell is Ed Woodward's favourite. So whether we get him or not, I do not know. But as Ed Woodward has potentially, confirmed, before he commits to any future signings, he wants to get a director of football, to come into the club. As we all know, he's got a good relationship with Mauricio Pochettino, as that did confirm out. But as I did say regarding Mauricio Pochettino, he's still potentially our number one to come in to fulfil that managerial position on a full-time basis at the end of the season. So reportedly, he's still the favourite to come in at the end of the season. According to what reports were saying the other week regarding Mauricio Pochettino, it was unlikely, saying the favoured Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get the job on a full-time basis, because according to Daniel Levy, who is the Tottenham chairman, obviously, he confirmed that he's being ruthless and he's standing firm over Mauricio Pochettino. He's not willing to let Pochettino leave Tottenham, and he did say if we were to offer in the excess of around 50 million, Daniel Levy would not let Mauricio Pochettino go. And I think he's fully committed to Tottenham. I think he's happy at Tottenham. I do think he's a good manager, and he knows about the Premier League. He's good at growing and developing young players. But I'd rather have Solskjaer, to quite honest, because Solskjaer's won trophies in that, and Pochettino's a good manager, and he's still looking to win his first major honour as a manager, as Mauricio Pochettino. He's been managing Tottenham 5 years, and he's got a good record. Lack of transfer activity, maybe frustrated about. He's only spent £50 million since 2014, as we all currently know. But there's been a lot of talks about Pochettino coming in at the end of the season to Manchester United on a full-time basis. As we all currently know. But yeah, he's reportedly still at number one, reportedly, so coming at the end of the season is Mauricio Pochettino on a full-time basis, because he did sign a 5-year deal last summer, and obviously Tottenham is still waiting for a new stadium, and obviously it would cost us it cost us money to recommend him in at the end of the season, because he's obviously he's under a contract with Tottenham, as we all know. But we still want to recruit a director of football to come into the club, as we all know. But I still think we definitely need a strong central defender. We need the right hand side of the dressing. I think, a majority of our attack is coming from the left, as we all currently know. But I still said we need a strong central defender. With players coming to end of the contracts, as I said, I still potentially think, that players are going to be leaving the club, as I've already discussed with you. I think Darmian could be on his way out. I think Valencia as well be on his way out of the club, to be quite honest. We're probably till in the summer Valencia will be going. He's been here since 2009, as we all know. And he's been a very, very good player over the years. He's grown and developed, and he's made over 300 appearances here at Valencia. There's been strong speculation about him leaving. I think probably not until the summer, because he's hardly played this season in the Premier League, Antonio Valencia. And obviously Ashley Young is obviously our first choice right back, as we all currently know. And Ashley Young, we've been in talks of getting him a new extension at the club as well, Ashley Young. But he's our first choice right back, and he's served a good number of years at Manchester United. He's been here since 2011, as we all know, as Ashley Young as well. So he's been here good 7-8 years now, as we all know. Maybe Ashley Young could still leave, I do not know, but obviously he is our first choice right back, is Ashley Young. I do think Fellaini will be leaving. He's out with an injury, obviously, but I think Fellaini will go. There's been, strong speculation speculation about him leaving. There's been a few clubs that have been interested in him. You know, we've had him here since 2013, of course, Manny and Fellaini. Obviously, it was a plan B under Jose Mourinho, but I just don't see how he fits in this new regime under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's not going to get in the mix. So I do think, you know, he did say Solskjaer was preparing, you know, to actually, you know, sanction Manny and Fellaini off, as that did confirm, because he doesn't complement our midfield. And obviously, I think, you know, Matic as well. He's dramatically improved as the Nemanja Matic under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He'll stay at the club now. He's looking more effective in his passing. His distribution has really, really improved, Matic. I know he's slow, but he's dramatically improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the Nemanja Matic, you know, to be quite fair. We're still in talks of obviously getting Ander Herrera a new deal at the club as well. Ander Herrera, I think he's played a big part, you know, since Solskjaer's come in. You know, he's playing a bigger part. He's getting, you know, more regular starts. He's Ander Herrera, and I think he's a good player, and, you know, hopefully we can get him a new deal, and he complements our midfield, you know, fantastically well, does Ander Herrera as well. So I've been very, very impressed with him as well under Solskjaer so far as well. Yeah, but I've been really, really impressed with Ander Herrera, as I said. I've been very, very impressed with him, as I said. But but that's the latest news to update you with. So basically, it's confirmed that Sanchez will be involved. Rojo won't be playing, he's injured. Fellaini won't be playing, he's injured. I think Rojo will be going as well in the summer due to that. He can't really play for Manchester United because he never really gets a chance. He's there as a backup in defence, he's Marcus Rojo. He's suffered quite a few injury problems since he's come here, so he is struggling to get a run of games in behind his belt, is Marcus Rojo. So I do think, you know, he could be leaving as well. That's another player I think he'll leave. Jones Smalling could be leaving at the end of the season as well. So players will be probably going, as I said. But yeah, so that's the news update on that. But there's some transfer rumours that are speculating going on in the press today. I might have updated you about this earlier on, but I've got a bit more news about it now. Reportedly, Radjic Nainggolan, the Inter Milan midfielder, now has reportedly been mentioned in the media. Reportedly, there's a lot of news coming out from the Italian press, and there's a lot of news stemming from Italy that reportedly Inter Milan are preparing, you know, to sell Nainggolan in this January transfer window, and they're trying to get him a move to England. Reportedly, and it did say a few teams have expressed their interest in him. It did say Arsenal could be emerged as the front runners to get him. So it said Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United and Tottenham have reportedly been interested in Radjic Nainggolan. Now, we were linked to him a couple of years ago. I think he's a very, very good midfielder. He's strong, he's quick, he's tenacious, he's reading of his games very, very good. He makes an impact. As I said, he's very competitive as well. And, you know, we could do with him in our midfield, you know, to be quite honest with you. Radjic Nainggolan, you know, to be quite honest with you, because obviously we've got Fellaini in that injured, as we all know. He says Arsenal have obviously been interested in him as well. Tottenham have been interested in him. Chelsea want to replace him with Fabregas, and they've reportedly been interesting as well. But reports are coming out from the Italian press that Inter Milan are looking to sell him in this January transfer window because he's under contract with Inter Milan till 2022. Obviously, he's endured the 6 difficult months with Inter Milan, to be honest with you. Inter Milan only got him from Roma last summer for around €38 million. I think there was a player involved in that deal as well. But he's failed to replicate the form what he did at Roma and that Radjic Nainggolan. Reportedly, Inter Milan want around €30 million for him. Reportedly, Radjic Nainggolan. As I did say, he's got a contract till 2022 with Inter Milan as well as Radjic Nainggolan. But as we all know, Inter Milan are obviously getting Mesut Ozil on the board as well. But Radjic Nainggolan said spent the most of his playing career in Italy, as we all know, with Cagliari and Roma and all that. And obviously now he's at Inter Milan. He's made over 290 Serie A appearances. He's played 30 times for Belgium. I think, you know, scored like 6 goals or something like that, like in 8 years as Radjic Nainggolan. But reportedly, yeah, so a few teams have expressed their interest in him. It's also confirmed that Tottenham have also been interested in Radjic Nainggolan, but it has mentioned my club, Manchester United, have been interested in him as well. And I think, you know, if he wants to come to the Premier League, it would be good for him to experience the Premier League. You know, he is age 30 now, he's Radjic Nainggolan, but reportedly a lot of news is coming out now regarding that reportedly Inter Milan are preparing to sell him. A lot of news is coming out from Italy saying that, Inter Milan are looking to get rid of him. His contract is in Inter Milan till 2022. Reportedly they want to sell him for around €30 million. Reportedly Inter Milan, as that did confirm. But we were previously linked to him, was it a year or 2 ago? You know, we was linked to Radjic Nainggolan reportedly. Inter Milan, of course, paid €38 million for him last summer, but he hasn't really done that good at Inter Milan. So there is strong speculation coming out of the Italian press that there's been a few teams interested in him, and there's strong speculation that he could be leaving Inter Milan in this January transfer window. And there's been reportedly a few teams interested in Radji Nainggolan as well, because obviously we've been interested, but Arsenal reportedly do want Radji Nainggolan now reportedly, because obviously Arsenal have got financial restraints, as we all know. But Sanchez has confirmed they can only make loan signings in this January transfer window, as he has confirmed. They can only make loan signings, as he has confirmed. So he's ruled out Arsenal making any permanent moves in this January window, because obviously Arsenal haven't been getting the right amount of funds to spend on players. As we all know, they haven't been getting the right amount of funds, and he's confirmed they can only make loan signings in this January transfer window. Arsenal, as he has confirmed, he did get 5 players last summer. Don't think he's been back enough to be quite honest with you, but Arsenal did go on a 22-match unbeaten run, early on in the season. Considering that they're limited to transfer funds, done well in new memories for this season. To be quite honest with you, but obviously Arsenal know that players are going to be leaving. They still obviously got injury problems, as I said, but obviously they're going for the top 4 this season. They want to get into Champions League next season, to invest more money into their club, to invest more money and attract players' interest, as we all currently know. But Umremme said he wants a defender, he wants a winger as well, does Umremme, and Arsenal want to do this, as I currently said. But the report that they've been interested in Radji Nainggolan, and I think he'd be a great addition, to Arsenal's squad. I think he'd be a great addition to our squad, Man United. If it'd be good for him to experience the Premier League, because he has got a pretty decent pedigree. He's proven that he can score goals, and he does fit in the mix in that midfield. As we all currently know. But obviously, Arsenal have been inquiring about getting a few players on the board, as we all currently know, because obviously Aaron Ramsey is set to leave, for Juventus. Obviously, Arsenal want a replacement for him, but he did say if Arsenal were to get a couple of loan signings in this January window, made soften his stance on Aaron Ramsey and probably let him go in this January window rather than let him go on a free in the summer when his contract term expires to Juventus. But he's going to be the second highest paid player at Juventus, as that has confirmed, as that has officially confirmed. He's been a good servant for Arsenal. He's been there 10 years now, as we all know, with Arsenal Football Club, as Aaron Ramsey, as we all know. And he's been a very, very good servant. Arsenal, £5 million for him from Cardiff, way he's not the youth system. But even knowing that he's going to leave when he's playing in the team, he's still giving it 100%, for Arsenal Football Club, is Aaron Ramsey. He probably will go. Umremme will probably let him stay until his contract expires, and then he'll go in the summer on a free transfer. But reportedly, if Arsenal were to get rid of him in this January window, they'd recommend around the £10 million fee for Aaron Ramsey, as I currently said. But reports obviously have been coming out, adding Denis Suarez and James Rodriguez, saying if they can get them two, they'll let Aaron Ramsey go in this January window. Denis Suarez, obviously, Arsenal and Barcelona at the moment are at loggerheads of the Denis Suarez news. Arsenal and Barcelona are at loggerheads because obviously I think Arsenal have agreed to pay his loan fee of around, £2 million, and then maybe make the deal permanent in the summer by paying just under £20 million. But reportedly, a lot of speculations coming out in the media saying that talks had broken down between Arsenal and Barcelona. Due to that, it did say Arsenal and Barcelona were struggling to come to an agreement on a future permanent deal for Denis Suarez, because reportedly, as it did confirm, Barcelona wants to sanction him off permanently, reportedly. Obviously, in this January window, Arsenal cannot do that due to, their financial restraints, as we all currently know. But we know potentially, it's been close a bit Arsenal getting him. He was dropped out of Barcelona's squad. His current contract ends in 2020. Barcelona did say they wanted to sign a contract extension, before he goes to Arsenal on loan, Denis Suarez. But he's keen on reuniting with Umremme, is Denis Suarez, because when he was at Sevilla on loan, he played with Sevilla on loan, Denis Suarez, and obviously Umremme was there, as we all know. But he does want to make the move to Arsenal, does Denis Suarez, but Barcelona obviously playing hardball over this, but Arsenal have refused to commit to a permanent transfer. This is why negotiations have broken down. Reportedly, there's still some reports saying it could be on, and Arsenal wanted to get it done by the weekend, as it currently said. But as I did say, Arsenal reports his representatives, Arsenal being negotiated with Barcelona, so the narrative about this has been going on for quite a long time now. But the Barcelona president had been in negotiations with Arsenal, and even he promised Denis Suarez a move to the Emirates Stadium this month. He's 25. He is versatile. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. He can play centrally. Can Denis Suarez? Do you think he'd be a good addition to Arsenal's team? Do you think he'd hit the ground running? With Arsenal, Denis Suarez. He actually began his youth career as well with Manchester City. But reports are coming out stemming from the media that talks had reportedly broken down the other day about that. They've also been linked with James Rodriguez. Now, James Rodriguez has reportedly been mentioned in the press as well. Because James Rodriguez, I think he's a good player. He's 27 years of age. He's Colombian, as we all currently know. He's on a 2-year loan with Bayern Munich. You know, he's only got 6 months left of that loan, 6 months left of that loan, and he's probably then set to return to Real Madrid, but then Real Madrid are keen on selling him off. Reportedly, Arsenal have made contact with Real Madrid over this reportedly. Arsenal have been inquiring about getting him on loan and then maybe considering getting him permanently in the summer, but reportedly he said it would just cost Arsenal in excess of just £3 million to get James Rodriguez on loan, as it did say. But reportedly, Real Madrid have got different plans. They want to use Rodriguez in their efforts to land Christian Eriksen from Tottenham because Real Madrid's target has been Christian Eriksen to Tottenham. So Rodriguez could actually go to Tottenham as part of that deal. So potentially, you know, that could be a bad blow for Arsenal, as I said. And obviously, Mesut Ozil's future is still very, very uncertain with Arsenal, as we all know. As I did say earlier, Inter Milan have been keen on getting him on loan. They're the only team I think that have been interested in Ozil, considering that he's on high wages. He's on over £350,000 a week. And Arsenal have got, you know, average players on big contracts. But Mesut Ozil's been in the Premier League, 6 years? But this season he's been struggling to get in the team. You know, he's had a few injury problems as well. Mesut Ozil could have been in contention, you know, to play tomorrow in the game. Mesut Ozil, as I currently said. But, you know, regarding Ozil, you know, to be quite honest with you, he's been poor this season. He hasn't really been given the opportunity, and he's failed to adapt himself, and he's failed to replicate, you know, what he did under Arsene Wenger, Mesut Ozil. So there's been strong speculation about him leaving. As we all know, Zoom said he wants to cash in for the player, he wants to raise funds, and he did actually say he wanted Ozil to leave, as Umreme confirmed. But we know, as I said, so that's basically the latest news on that. But Arsenal can't get any deals in this January window because they're only restricted to loan signings, as we all know. But there's big news that has been coming out of the media today about Radja Nainggolan. Reportedly, a host of clubs have been interested, quite a few Premier League clubs. Italian journalist has reported on it. There's lots of news coming out from the Italian press that reportedly Inter Milan are willing to sell him in this January window, get him a move to England that I've been hearing about. But there's been a few teams interested. One report says in 101 goals, it actually said that Arsenal could be amongst the favourites to get him on the board. Arsenal would love the signing of Radja Nainggolan. They could see him as a replacement for Ozil. Is the possibility of Ozil and Radja Nainggolan as a potential swap deal? As I currently said. So essentially that's the latest news on that. So it says Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham and all Arsenal have been interested in Radja Nainggolan, but very, very good player, but he is age 30 now. Don't forget it's Radja Nainggolan, so potentially he is out of his prime, as we all know. But as I said, you know, there's been some other interesting news, you know, coming out of the media today. You know, as I did currently say on my current last video, there's been some other interesting news coming out of the media today, suggesting it's regarding what's his name now. Adrian Rabiot has been mentioned in the media today. Looking likely he's going to be leaving PSG because there's no sign of him signing a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain. Adrian Rabiot. It's been looking like that. You know, Barcelona are going to get him in the summer. You know, when his contract expires. Adrian Rabiot reportedly, you know, Barcelona had agreed this, you know, for Adrian Rabiot. Adrian Rabiot has been in Paris Saint-Germain the majority of his career, won 16 major honours. You know, he's been in the first team, obviously, you know, since 2012. He's been in the first team, you know, since 2012 with Paris Saint-Germain, as we all currently know as Adrian Rabiot. And, you know, he's won 16 honours. As I said, he's, 23, 24, so he is still young in his prime. So reportedly now, there's been a change of scenarios. I did update early because reportedly Liverpool in the last couple of weeks have held negotiations about it. Liverpool have been interested in. Now, obviously, apparently, you know, because obviously now Barcelona have confirmed the sign of Frankie, whatever his name is, Frankie de Jong for Ajax in a $65 million deal. Reportedly now, Tottenham have come in. Now that Barcelona have signed this player, Frankie de Jong, they have got quite a few midfielders at Barcelona, but now Tottenham have come in. Reportedly, according to France Football, it's in the Metro. I think it's in the Metro, what I saw of it. Tottenham, Mauricio Pochettino is set to hold talks of getting Adrian Rabiot, and Pochettino is reportedly considering... He's considering getting Adrian Rabiot to Tottenham Hotspur, so he's trying to convince him to join Tottenham Hotspur. Pochettino wants Adrian Rabiot to join Tottenham Hotspur. Reportedly, the fees around 13-14 million pounds for Adrian Rabiot. So reportedly, Tottenham have inquired they're interested in him. He did say Liverpool have also been interested in him in the last couple of weeks, but obviously reports have been coming out about that today in the media as well. France Football, Pochettino set to hold talks, you know, regarding Adrian Rabiot, reportedly. So there's been a lot of reports, you know, going on about that today. And he's French, is the player. He's been a full international, I think, since 2016 as the player, as I said. But yeah, very, very, he's a good player, Adrian Rabiot, as I said. But now Tottenham could get the move for him. Reportedly now that Barcelona have got Frankie de Jong on the board. But yeah, as I said, but yeah, what else to update you on? And there's been obviously news coming out, as I did say, about Ivan Perisic. There's been news about about him in the press today, Ivan Perisic as well. Reportedly, a lot of Italians reported that Manchester United have revived their interest in Perisic. It also said that Atletico Madrid have also been interested in Perisic as well. So the rumours are stemming from the Italian press again about Perisic. We've been linked to him for the past couple of years. He's got a contract with Inter Milan until 2022, but this season obviously he's failed to replicate the form that he's done in previous seasons with Inter Milan. He's been there a number of years now, but due to his poor performances this season, reportedly Inter Milan are open to selling him and reportedly want around 40 million euros. But it's unlikely reportedly we have been in talks with Inter Milan, and Atletico Madrid have been in talks with Inter Milan. But as I said, it's unlikely we'll get him now anyway. He's 29, as we all know. He's Croatian. He's Ivan Perisic. He's got good physical attributes, and he can put crosses into the box as well. And he's got a lot of tenacity about his play. But I honestly don't see us getting Ivan Perisic. We've been linked to him for a couple of years. Inter Milan demanded that they wanted £48 million. Was it last summer, something like that? And we were reluctant to pay up to that fee. This is why a deal never materialised in the process. And we had a couple of bids turned down for Ivan Perisic. But I don't see him now joining Manchester United. And to be quite honest with you, but there has been speculation going on about it that Inter Milan want around 40 million euros. For him, reportedly. So a lot of Italian press has reported that Man United have, inquired about if the possibility, have inquired about the possible availability of Ivan Perisic, reportedly. But it says Atletico Madrid have been interested. So Atletico Madrid, could get him. To be quite honest with you. But yeah, so that's really everything to update today. So the main part of this season, Solskjaer's given us a bit of team news. He's confirmed Sanchez will be involved in this game, which will be good to see because he missed the previous one against Arsenal early on this season when it was 2-2, as I currently said. So yeah, that's mainly everything to update today. And we still got, this is going to be a test of following Solskjaer. We've played we've won 7 out of 7. 6 of them games, you'd have expected us to win anywhere. Tottenham, was a difficult one, but we won that game by 1-0. But fantastic performance it was from David De Gea in the second half with 11 saves. But as I did say, there's games coming up thick and fast. We've still got Arsenal to play at the Emirates in the league, PSG coming up soon in the Champions League. Still got to play City as well and all that, and Chelsea and all that at home. So they are going to be the testers, as I said. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. We'll be back soon with more live videos. So take care.